Welcome back to Moments with Miss Amy. I am so glad you joined me. So, today I want to talk to you a little bit about love. Yeah, you know that, about love. But it's, I think, going to go in a direction you might not have expected. I've got a scripture on it, of course. Let me read that one to you. It is Mark 12:30 and 31. So, first is, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. So I kind of got thinking with that one, because some of the things I've been seeing lately is how people are treating other people. Literally, I was in the grocery parking lot and was fixing to get out of my car when I saw this scene unfold. Now, I don't know what happened prior to it, but all of a sudden this car stops in a parking spot. The guy rips the door open, gets out of his car, leaves the door open, and the car's sitting there, and is following this man, screaming and yelling at him. My guess is maybe the guy cut him off, maybe even took a parking space that he was going for. Really don't know the situation, but I do know he was hunting him down, screaming and yelling as he's going along. It was crazy. People were stopping and looking, wondering what's going on. One of the associates from the store kind of stood near the car because the guy left his car open. I don't know if it was running or not, but what happened that made him so angry that he dove right into this situation, this confrontation, right? Now, from what I saw, it never went to fisticuffs or anything of that nature, but I just really wondered what happened. But that's not the only circumstance I saw. Another time, just recently, someone was driving down the road and was fixing to turn left into a gas station. There was a larger vehicle that was in the parking lot that was maneuvering around and trying to work its way out of the parking lot. So the person who was fixing to turn left in actually waited. I was like, kudos. Of course, I wouldn't have seen that they actually waited if it wasn't for the person behind them who was honking their horn, rolling down their window, and screaming at them for that person to make that left-hand turn. Who was that person focused on that was doing all the screaming and yelling? Obviously, focused on those people they are getting out of their way rather than them waiting for someone else to come out so that everyone wasn't jammed up. It only took just seconds, but literally the person that was making all that noise was also making a scene. I saw other people around stopping and looking at them as well. And these things all started getting me thinking about the fact that we are taught scripturally to love your neighbor as yourself. But you know something? Even not like looking at the word, I believe that we are taught as children and working our way up to show respect to others. And the things that I'm seeing are not showing that respect to others. So it really got me questioning. When we take that scripture, love your neighbor as yourself, is part of the problem that we've dropped to a point that we don't love ourselves? Is the talk that we're giving people out there and that we're yelling at them and telling them negative things and complaining about what they're doing, is that really just giving voice to the negative talk that we're giving ourselves? So I started thinking to myself, how often do I say something negative to myself? Oh, that was a stupid move. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. What were you thinking? Why would you waste your time doing that? Those are not very positive things to be saying to myself. So then I think about it and I'm like, oh, do I verbalize that to others? Because I know that's not right. So then why doesn't it stop me when I'm talking to myself? Ugh. Definitely something to ponder on, right? But think about that. When you're speaking with someone out there, when there's something happening out in the world, any words that you're saying that are coming out of your mouth, are they things that really, if you would watch a review, if you'd see that taped and you would watch it later, would you be happy that you said that? Is that really how that situation should have been handled? I'm going to tell you truthfully, all of those things that I experienced, no, it wasn't. It really wasn't. I don't know what the other people did in the parking lot, okay? But I do know what I saw. The person stopping and being considerate for this other situation, turning in and the other person turning out, that right there, that person was in the wrong in the pickup truck that was hollering and yelling. It only took a few seconds. What example were they showing? What were they doing? How could they have made that person in the front feel? Chances are, depending on what kind of driver that they were, maybe it made that person now more nervous and more anxious being out on the road because, gee, they tried to do something nice and again, they were told what was wrong. You know, I just don't know what benefit that there is for us to tear down other people. I really don't. And it scares me, honestly, because I see it more and more often. What are we not only teaching our younger people? Because it's not just us that is doing it, but now you're seeing younger people do it. So what is it teaching them? But besides that, how is it affecting other people? And what benefit is there? I think that trash talk, negative talk, tearing people down, I don't think any of it is beneficial to us. I think that the more that we can lift each other up and build each other up, the better that this world would be. And I can tell you there's a lot of times that I question, oh my goodness, what is happening with this world? And I worry about the negativity. And I realize that I have two options. I can either pour into that negativity with more negativity, or I can pour into it with positivity and maybe neutralize some of that negativity. And that's the choice that I make. Then I also have to remember that that's not just outside of me, the things that I speak out, but it's also the things that I speak in. It's not helping anyone if I'm talking negatively to myself either. And just to let you know, it's not helping anyone if you're speaking negatively to yourself. What are the changes that you can make in your life that's going to bring out a more positive impact? What are the things that you're saying to yourself? If you catch yourself, now I understand stopping negative talk is not as easy as that, okay? You have to work on it. You have to be aware of it. You have to pay attention. But if you catch yourself saying it in your head, or even whispering it to yourself out loud, stop. You know, there is no reason that you need to finish that sentence. If you're talking with someone and you're starting to talk about something negative, and as you're starting it and you realize, this really isn't a positive thing, there's nothing wrong with stopping. And you know what? If they ask you, what were you fixing to say? You can tell them, you know what? I decided to change. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going down that negative road anymore. Some people may think you're crazy, but I'm going to tell you what. If you really think about it, I know for myself, I love to be around positive people. They just give off positive energy. It's so much more fun. Being around negative people that are just blah, 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 and always negative, like that's no fun to be around. So making sure that I'm being the type of person that I want others to be around, and then being around others that are like that too, just kind of makes sense, right? It just makes sense. So think about that. Talk positive to yourself. Talk positive out loud. This way you can love your neighbor as yourself. Diving into that a little bit more, that means love yourself. And I think that's vital too. So make sure that you are speaking love and positive things to yourself and even as you share them out in the world. So the next time something's coming up and you're feeling just that little bit of road rage or any kind of anger, I hope that you think of this video and I hope it helps you. Stop right there and change it. Because wouldn't it be amazing if this world was filled with so much more positive energy, positive love, and not as much of the negative screaming and yelling and all of that, right? So I hope that you got some things from this. Feel free to leave a comment. Don't forget to click like. Make sure that you subscribe, hit that little bell so you know when I've dropped a video. And I hope that you've had a great time with me today. Thank you so much for joining me for Moments with Miss Amy.